pages of national papers and television news headlines. The shocking and ritualistic nature of the Ripper murders was recounted extensively and feverishly, and while almost all the victims appeared then to be prostitutes, press coverage began to refer to a climate of fear affecting all women in the country, respectable ladies, as well as those who worked the streets. For a young reporter with ambitions, Yorkshire was unquestionably the place to be. A few miles south of Leeds, scene of 4 presumed Ripper murders, the M1 branches off to join the M62. Foot pressed hard to the floor, I urged the overburdened little car up the exit slope and on towards Bradford, the location for 2 more. Even under a softening blanket of snow, Bradford appeared grim, a shabby city grown out of its mill-town roots and falling on increasingly desperate times. 100 years of pollution and grime clung to the millstone grit of row after row of terraced houses. Some places reek so deeply of poverty that their stench seeps in even through the closed windows of a speeding car. The Mini laboured on, struggling to shrug off the meanness of the city and to cope with the growing piles of soot-blackened slush and snow. From Bradford the road wound up through the Aire Valley, past the once proud villas of Manningham Lane, now down at heel and an edge mark over the city's red light area, towards Shipley and Bingley, and then on to the small town of Keighley, surrounded by the moors and memories of its literary luminaries, the Bronte sisters. Wuthering Heights, indeed. I would spend the next 4 years working for newspapers in West Yorkshire, first weekly, then the regional daily, the Yorkshire Post. In those 4 years, the callous blight of Thatcherism would take an unforgiving toll on an already struggling region. Unemployment, poverty, and desperation were its constant companions. And fear, too. The Yorkshire Ripper would strike again and again, beating the life out of 5 more women, gouging and stabbing their stunned bodies in recession-hit back alleys across the county, and leaving yet others for dead. At least 5 of his murder victims were middle class and with no connection to the local vice trade. Now, terror was no longer a press exaggeration. Families urged their women either to stay indoors at night or, if they must venture out, to do so in pairs. Darkness comes early in the northern winter. By mid-afternoon there was, in those Ripper years, a palpable tension in the streets. That fear was heightened by the seeming powerlessness of West Yorkshire Police's Ripper Squad to catch their quarry. The largest manhunt in British criminal history was played out very publicly, in newspapers, on television and radio, day in and day out. Poster campaigns, public appeals, telephone hotlines. Nothing brought the detectives closer to the serial killer stalking Yorkshire's streets. And then it was over. On the 3rd of January 1981, exactly 3 years and 3 days since I had arrived in Yorkshire, police issued the good news. A man they believed to be the Ripper was in custody. Television news played footage of senior detectives smiling and relaxing for the first time. The time for fear was over. Now it was time for anger. Crowds, baying for blood and revenge, crowded round police stations and flocked to the magistrates' court, where Peter William Sutcliffe, a 34-year-old lorry driver from Bradford, was first arraigned. Under English law, after someone is charged, almost nothing about the alleged criminal can be published. The principle of innocent until proven guilty, the emphasis being on proven, is enshrined in statutes aimed at ensuring a jury is not prejudiced by bad publicity against the person facing trial before them. If the public, fed a television diet of American police procedurals where no such law applies, was frustrated, journalists took the opportunity to spend the months before trial uncovering the life story of Peter Sutcliffe. Checkbooks were flourished, wads of cash flashed.